Madison LeCroy speaks out after JLO and AROD announced the end of their engagement. Hey guys, welcome back to another shared news from home. Madison has spoken out on JLO and AROD's split. There is a lot to unpack here, but before we get into it, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, fiancée, and I'm joined by the wonderful Avery Grooms. Avery, this is such an A-list celebrity breakup. It is such sad news. What do you think of this? How are you feeling? Are you a J-Rod fan?
Not a J-Rod, a J-Lo fan. I am, and I'm just sad that this is happening to her because she doesn't deserve it. And I just don't understand what man who's dating J-Lo has the audacity to even dabble into something else, whether it be like just sliding into the DMs. I don't know what happened here, but she doesn't deserve any of it. So I hope the best for her.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, it feels like after 4 really great years together, there are a lot of rumors. There may be some drama behind the scenes. They're obviously a fairly private couple, but I am with you. It feels like something shady went down, which I guess let's go back before the first round of JLO and AROD split rumors even started. News broke that Southern Charm's Madison LeCroy and AROD had been in contact. And at the time, there was a lot of rumors, a lot of chaos going on. In the midst of the backlash, Madison spoke out way back when. She said, he's never physically cheated on his fiancée with me. They'd only spoken on the phone, never been physical, never had any kind of anything, just an acquaintance. At the time, there was rumors, there was discussion, different sources were coming forward saying that texting other women, talking to other women is kind of a bad habit AROD has in relationships, but everyone maintained a very firm line that no actual physical cheating had happened between the two of them. Do you remember when all of this was going down, Avery? What are your thoughts?
I kind of remember when this was kind of unraveling. I didn't know the details, and Madison said he never physically cheated on his fiancée with me, but people classified cheating in different ways, and he was still sliding into her DMs or potentially texting her. And it's like, about what and why? You have JLo. What is your motive to go do this? And some are saying it's a bad habit of his, but that could also be classified as cheating because what was his thought process behind this? Why did he want to reach out to another girl and FaceTime and stuff, when he's fully engaged to JLo? So I don't know. It brings up a lot of questions, and she just doesn't deserve someone who's going to do that to her.
Yeah, I love how you put it. Like the question is why? Like obviously, right, the everything is fine and dandy version of the story is, oh, they're just friends. They're being friendly. They're talking, but you're so right. Like the kind of question you come to is like, but why? Why do they need to be friends? Why did this start? What actually what actually brought them together? It's very interesting. It's not like they have a ton of mutual friends and were super, in the same circle. It was inevitable that they were going to get close. It did feel a bit random. So definitely interesting. Definitely with you there. It feels a little something, I guess we could just say. And then, of course, this is not the first time we have seen headlines that JLO and AROD have split. There was an initial round of split rumors back in March. At the time, they very quickly released a statement saying that they were not broken up, but that they were working on their relationship, working through some things. We, of course, now know that since then, after putting in that work, trying to figure out if there was a path there, they have decided to call it quits for good. In their statement that they released jointly, it said that they're better off as friends. They plan to remain so. They're obviously looking for privacy out of respect of their children, that are, of course, going to be involved in the situation. Since that news broke, sources have come forward shedding some light on, how JLo feels, how AROD's feeling right now. A source told E! News that JLo hasn't been happy for a while. And another source elaborated saying, once her trust is broken, there's no turning around. She feels good about her decision because she knows AROD will still be in her life, just in a different capacity. But other sources are saying AROD is really just not ready to give up, that he still has hope. A source said he is respecting her wishes right now, but has high hopes that they will get back together. He's doing anything in his power to make JLO happy. So this is a really interesting situation. They've been together for 4 years. They have businesses tied together. Obviously, their families became so blended. Their children are really close. It's a tough split just at the surface level. But then if you take that source at its word that AROD is still fighting for this thing, he's not even fully ready to be out of it yet. It feels really emotional, really messy, difficult behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, they had a 4-year serious relationship, and I'm sure he's doing everything in his power to continue to make her happy. But if this is a bad habit, I'm sure there's more where that came from. Madison's probably not the only girl. There's probably more DMs if this is a habit of his. And I know JLo's not going to fly with that at all. So, like she said, once her trust is broken, there's no getting it back. And this is something he needs to take care of. And I just don't understand why anyone in their right mind who's engaged to JLo would do such a thing. But I don't know. Men are crazy, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, when we did a video on the initial news breaking, I just felt like I honed in a little bit on the we work better as friends. Sometimes I feel like it can be really hard when a couple's been together for a long time and that romantic element starts to slip away, but you do care about each other. There's still a friendship. Your lives are intertwined. And that's still something that I keep coming back to. It feels like if the romantic side of their relationship has been, struggling. They've had to postpone their wedding twice, right? Like they just weren't in that place. AROD's texting people, like things are kind of going off the rails, but there is that base level of a true friendship, two people who do really care about each other. Those are some of the hardest decisions to make. Are we going to fight for this? Are we going to, break up? And I have this really strong gut feeling that they did try to fight for it. They did try to make it work. The whole world, right? We read headlines, JLO and AROD done. And they chose to come forward and say, we're not done. We're working it out. So I do really think that they each gave it their all. But this is just what's best for everyone involved. This is just where they are now. And this is how the future is going to be. Let's get back to Madison though, because JLO and AROD aside, all of the emotions of a split, splits are never easy. Obviously our hearts are broken, but there is still this question mark of, is she potentially someone to blame in all of this? How big of a role did she have? Were there other women, like you said, Avery? Back when the first round of rumors started, there were conflicting source reports on whether or not she even played a role. Some people said, Madison has played a role in JLO and AROD breaking up. Other sources said she has absolutely nothing to do with this. This is something they're working on behind the scenes. And then, of course, within 24 hours, we were told they hadn't even broken up at all, right? So definitely interesting way back when. She didn't speak out at the time. She said nothing. And now she has spoken out now that the news that they are no longer engaged has come out. But what she said is very short, very to the point. She simply said, I wish them the best. So this is interesting to me. I mean, I don't really know what to make of it. Obviously, if she released a big, lengthy statement, she would be kind of inserting herself in the narrative. But I'm sure she was being hounded for a comment, some sort of comment. So I wish them the best. It's simple. It's to the point. What do you make of this, Avery?
It's very simple and to the point, and it immediately kind of just takes her out of the equation. A while back, she was actually involved in the Kristen Cavalieri and Jay Cutler divorce drama, and she pulled up receipts from that. So I feel like in this situation, if she had them, she might show the receipts, but I think she's thinking it's best to just take a step back and get her name out of this as soon as possible. So I wish them the best is the best way to go out, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally with you. I think pretty much anything other than a slightly different variation of I wish them the best could backfire, right? I mean, this is a moment where you want to remove yourself. You do not want to be pegged as the reason JLo's heart was broken. I mean, let's face it. Not that people don't love AROD, but JLo's got a lot of fans out there, and you certainly don't want to be responsible or if you aren't responsible, painted as responsible, right? We still are a little fuzzy on what, when, why, how we got to this place. But there's certainly, some narratives that people are believing here with her involved. So I'm sure in the coming days, we're going to be hearing more from sources as to, what led them to this point, why JLo felt her trust was broken in a way that, could not be mended. And honestly, we still have this element that source slipped in there that AROD is fighting for JLo back. So who knows what's going to be coming in the future weeks. You guys, that is everything we have to share with you right now. We, of course, want to know what you make of all of this. How are you feeling about the split? What do you make of Madison's very brief statement? Let us know down in the comments. And of course, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so we can keep you updated as news continues to break. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring. I was joined by the wonderful Avery Grooms. If you want to come say hi, our social handles are on the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.